Good afternoon to all. Uh, Today I'm going to take the topic related to a very important factor in our present scenario. And as far as this topic is concerned, it is about listening. There are 4 important skills: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. As far as reading, writing, and listening, speaking is concerned, all this topic play a very important role. But the 3 factor reading, speaking, and writing, these are important, but the predominant or very significant is the listening. Because our reaction, our action, that goes on listening. And presently, what happens? That, we are listening just to react, or we are listening just to give our responses. But the 3 factors what I am going to take today, it will be related to informational, critical, and therapeutic listening. And as far as these 3 parts are concerned, they are very specialized part. And I consider that, we have to meditate when it comes to listening. Major problem starts when we do the things half-hearted. And when it comes to listening, when you do the half-hearted things, then, the repercussions or the results are different. So these 3 important part: informational, critical, and therapeutic listening. These are the 3 things what I am going to discuss about. We are going to deal with types of listening. And when it comes to numbers of listenings, we have to deal with few listening which has the specific significance. Listening is the most important communication skills. We probably spend more time using our listening skills than any other kind of skills. Like other skills, listening takes practice. Real listening is an active process. Listening requires attention. And of course, the first and foremost communication skill that we learn in our life, nothing but the listening part. So let's deal straight away, come to the point. And I think so that, that in present society, with the coming of the chaos or with the coming of technology, the listening process becomes more significant. And why it becomes significant? Definitely, I'll be going to my other slides, which you will be able to make it out that, that why the importance of listening is there, and we have taken it for granted when it comes to listening part. So the listening part has to be not only to be given importance, but it has to be brought into the syllabus, it has to be brought into the curriculum and to be worked on, so that, that the proper judgments and solutions we can get, and the listening is one of the factor on that as such. Now, coming to the listening part, numbers of things are there. For example, numbers of factors are there. For example, your reflexes, your memory, habits, story, thoughts, sensations, stress, burdens, all sort of things are definitely intermingled with one another. And I think so that, you tell a story to 100 students in the class, and when you ask the answers, you'll be finding that, every student will be going to give the answer in its own way. Because they may be brilliant, they may be heard the story properly, but, the listening level or the listening angle of every student was different. So you will be finding the rejoinders and the answers difficult You will be finding the answers different, not difficult, but you will be finding the answers different. Thus, the relevancy of listening cannot be gainsaid. And when it comes to listening, there are numbers of types of listenings are there. But we are going to focus on 3 parts of listening, and these 3 parts of listening in my next slides, I will be going to take it out. Now, what are the factors which are to be taken into consideration while listening? The first and foremost factor is attention. Our minds many a times becomes loafers. Loafer means wanderer. Loafer is not a negative term, but when our mind is not able to get focused, when we are not able to concentrate on certain things, what happens that we are not attentive. So what happens that that we are not able to give the responses or rejoinders according to the other person's things or what is to be required as such, and we are not able to justify the conversation. So attention is a very important thing, and when it comes the significant matter, when it comes the important matter, then attention, the level of attention has to be serious. Second point is ask open-ended question. What happens that that we are many a times yes, no, thank you, okay, we are giving the answers in that way as such, and many a time the things are mismanaged or the things are on the other side. The proper rejoinders, what the answers we have given, the other person is not able to take it that way as such. So open-ended question means that asking the question at length. When you ask the question at length, it means that that you are specifying certain things as such. Then third part is that that asking probing question. Now probing question means that that what is important thing is that that if you want a specific answers, if you want the proper answer, if you want the answers according to the context, then the answers what we are expecting, the question should be probing. The questions are to be analytical. And when you ask the analytical question, you are going to get the rejoinders or answers in that way. Then the fourth thing is that that many a times is that the person gives the answers. You may be talking to someone, you may be conversing to someone, and there we find that that miscommunication takes place. And specifically when miscommunication takes place, then you have to request the clarification. And when you request the clarification, then many a times the problems of chaos or the problems of mismanagement, it does not take place. The fifth part is paraphrasing. Many a times that you're talking certain things, but the other person is not able to understand because of your language, because of your content, or because of many factors. But one of the factors specifically is that that the content and language plays the pivotal role. So what happens that that you talk certain things, but you get the rejoinder or you get the answers in different manner. So many times when this thing happens, then of course the paraphrasing or putting your communication in another form, in another content, that is an important part as such. Then the sixth part is that that be attuned to and reflect feeling. When we talk about that thing is that that what we call it as that that reconciliation of feeling. Reconciliation of feeling means that that many a times because of stress or because of tension, the communication breaks down as such. So a reflection of feeling is a very important part. And seventh point is that that when you make a communication, when it is a significant communication, then it is very important thing is that that you summarize the communication so that that the mismanagement or misunderstanding does not take place. You talked about the whole content, but if the content is significant, then it is very important thing is that that you have to again whatever you have talked, you have to summarize the communication so that if the other person has any problem when you are summarizing the stuff, then he can ask the question related to that as such. So in my opinion that that these are the 7 points that that when you are talking about the listening, these are to be taken into consideration. And when these things are to be consideration, then the error, the level of error diminish, it get decreased as such. So I think so that that as far as this active listening skill, this 7 key active listening, if absorbed, then the mismanagement in communication does not take place. Now the people are confusing between the listening and hearing. Now there is a wide difference between hearing and listening. Hearing means that that it is related to sound, but when it comes to listening, it is an attentive process, and attention is required in listening. Hearing is a biological process, and listening is a neurological cognitive process. When we talk about the neurological cognitive means understanding, and neurology is related to the nerves. Now whatever the information you are gathering in the mind, when it is a biological process, then it comes to hearing, because the responses in that hearing, you will not be getting an appropriate responses because it's a hearing process. But when it comes to the neurological cognitive process, it means that that information you are going to get filtered. In hearing, the information is not filtered. But in listening, the information is filtered in the mind, as we call it as a neurology. And neurology is nerves. And nerves used to filter that information and gives the responses according to the cognitive value. So many a times what happened that the information is percolated in the form of hearing, and we don't get the responses according to our wishes. So this is a very important point, is that that when it comes to the significant information, listening becomes very essential. It becomes mandatory, and of course in this type of listening you get the desired results. Now again, as far as the hearing part is concerned, it is an accidental part, it is an effortless, it is an involuntary, because hearing means that the responses are not very much required on the other end. But when it comes to listening, it means that that you have to give the responses and rejoinder. And for that, the focusing, the listening has to be focused, it has to be intentional, and it has to be voluntarized. It has to be voluntary. So in my opinion, that that what type of stuff you are dealing in. If you are dealing with some serious stuff, then of course then listening becomes predominant. As a professor, when I'm taking a lecture in the class, many a times I'm asking few questions to the students, and what the student says, "Oh sir, please would you repeat the question?" It means that that their mind is wandering, and that wandering mind does not absorb the information. The information is absorbed when the listening capacity is there. Many a times, it happens that we are seeing that, that as far as the listening part is concerned, there is a pretense to it. Pretense means that, that you are watching to a person, and the other person is thinking that, that as he is watching me, he is focusing on me. And this type of thing does not happen as such. He may be focusing to the speaker, but, his mind may be wandering to some other places as such. So this is the reason that that there is a huge difference between the hearing and listening part as such. If suppose in a class I am taking a lecture, and if I tell my student that students, today I am going to take a lecture on Hamlet, and after taking a lecture after 30 minutes I am going to ask you the questions, and when you give the right answer, I am going to give you excellent external marks. And today only I am going to give the external marks in the classroom when you are going to give me the answer related. So now we will be finding that there is a paradigm shift. When I am not saying that I am going to take a test, when I am not saying that I am not going to give you the marks, then more or less we will be finding that that the student will be on the hearing mode. And when I say that it is related to exam, I will be going to give marks. So again it will come on the listening mode as such. So here the award plays a very important role. When you talk about the awards, then there will be a paradigm shift from hearing to listening. And presently we have seen that that if the content is boring, if the speaker is boring, what will happen? That that more or less the person will be on the mobile phone, or he will be just pretends that he is listening, but in a way he is hearing it. So I've given you an example between hearing and listening as from my Hamlet's lecture as such. So these are the two important factors where award and reward plays a significant role. Now there are 5 processes of listening. When we come to first process is that we come it as a hearing. Hearing, as I again said, that that you just take the information but you don't filter the information. So when the information is going to get filtered, when you attend the conversation, when you attend the sentences, when you attend the information. And when you attend the information, what will happen? That you are, through your neurological cognitive attitude, you will be able to understand the stuff. And when you will be able to understand the stuff, what will happen? That you will be able to respond. Many a times, we see that, we are communicating, but we are not getting the response because the information has not been percolated into the mind, into the cerebral force. The mind, what we call it, is the cerebral force. And what happens? That, that the information, as it is not gone into the mind, it is not able to get filtered, and we are not able to get the response. So once you hear something, once you pay the attention to it, it becomes the listening part. Once you understand the stuff, you will be able to give the responses in the written form or in the speaking form or whatever the form it may be. And if you are able to understand the content, then it is not only that that you will, that information will be percolated, you are going to imbibe the information, but you will be able to imbibe that information. You will be able, that information is going to get stuck into your mind for the lifetime as such. And here we have seen many of the examples that that we have listened this thing in our childhood, but we are not able to forget that thing. But that information we have attended, we have understood that information. Many of our school teachers or college professors, when they used to give the lectures, even after 25 years of my certain professors, I am able to remember, and I can speak those things verbatim. And why I am able to speak those verbatim? For the simple reason I have imbibed those things. I'll just give one or two examples. My professor, Dr. Malagi, Dr. Digish Mehta, they have given the lecture on King Lear, Hamlet, Merchant of Venice. And if suppose I have to speak on that, I have not gone through that because I'm not teaching literature as such. But today also, if I have to give the lecture on those topics, I can give those lecture verbatim for the simple reason that information has gone into my mind. I have understood the information. In the classroom, I have given the responses. In the examination, I have given the responses. And this is the reason that, that I am able to, that information is stuck in my mind, and I will be able to reflect that information. And that is the reason that, why we call it as a remembrance. And remembrance, there are 2 types of remembrance. One is a temporary remembrance, and second is a perpetual remembrance, permanent remembrance. So what happens that that if suppose for certain time you have got the information, but that information you have to have that information for certain time. For example, you give me the phone number, so that phone number I will be remembering for certain time only. But you give me the phone number and you say that this is the phone number which is very significant to you. So what will happen that that phone number I will able to churn into my mind. And you ask me after 6 months, I will be able to reflect that. So as far as the reflection of information is concerned, it depends upon how you take. As far as that information is concerned, how you are able to attend, how you are able to understand, how you are able to churn up, how you are able to respond, how you are able to remember, and how you are able to reflect. So these are the very important factors as far as the listening part is concerned. And in the present stage, what we have seen that, that life has become so fast, and, more or less the people are little bit, stressful nowadays. So the listening part goes with it. Listening, if you are cool mind, if you are relaxed, then you are able to store that information, you are able to reflect it. But certain information is, suppose I have listened that information in some tension or in stress, that information will be leaked. And when the information gets leaked, then you are not able to stuck up, you are not able to cache that information for the future use as such. So I think so that that as far as this last slide was concerned, the listening process from hearing to attention to understanding to response to remembrance. If suppose if you scientifically work on that, then this information you can have for your lifetime, you can have for your sometime, or you can just forget after some time. How you take, that's an important part on it as such. Now, the two type of listening is concerned. One is what we call it as an active listening, and second is a passive listening. Active listening means that that, as I told you, that there are some reward, there are some award, there are some, as far as those information is concerned, that information you have to use it wisely. When you talk about the active listening, it means that that listening you have to use it for the purpose, and that is the reason that that from passive listening to active listening has become. And when you talk about the passive listening means that that you have been compelled to listen. Many a time we see that that we have gone into some shows, and some boring programs are there. Or in the lectures we find that that the content or the stuff or the language you don't find, but you are compelled to sit. And that compulsion, what will happen? You become a passive listening. Many a times, I go to some friend's house or some relative house, but as I have gone with the family, I cannot come out at that moment of time as such. So for for 1 hour, 1.5 hours, till my family, till my wife comes out of that room, I have to be in that room and I become a passive. So it depends. As far as the passive listening is concerned, it goes with the content, it goes with the speaker, it goes with the language, it goes with your mood. All sort of things can be differentiated between the active and the passive listening. Now, very significant or very pertinent point that that I'm taking a lecture. Why I'm taking a lecture? I'm taking a lecture for the simple reason that that listening, these are the listenings, and as far as those listenings are concerned, the significant importance of listening and the purpose of listening. Now, as far as the purpose of listenings are concerned, there are hundreds of purpose of listening, but I will talk only 3 or 4 purpose of listening. One listening is that we want to know about that what is the significance of the matter, what we have to do in this matter, how we have to justify the matter, how I have to reflect that matter. Second thing is we call it as a fatigue communion, PHATIC, fatigue communion. Fatigue communion means that just in a community, we have to just speak or just listen for that purpose only. For example, I have gone in some marriage function, I have gone in some funeral, I have gone in some meeting, I am sitting in my staff room. So now I have to show my I have to show my humility to listen, for the simple reason that that I have to be a part of that program. Then third thing is that that you want to listen to ask some questions. Asking a question, as I told you that that Socratic questioning. Many a time that we cannot take the things for granted, so you have to listen. Some politician is giving a lecture on certain things. Some salesman is talking about certain thing. So if I have to buy that product, so there will be a number of questions. For example, 7 days back, a person had come to me sell a vacuum cleaner. So I have to buy that vacuum cleaner because that was the need of my home chores. So what happened that that I listened to him, and I was listening so that if any query comes, I can ask him. Because when he leaves that place after selling the product, again I have to make a communication to him. So many a time what happened that, that for asking some questions, you have to listen it out as such. Okay. And of course, listen to act effectively, to justify yourself, to act effectively. That's also an important part. When you're talking on phone, you don't have the time. You are on a video call or you are in an audio call, for example. So no, you just on the spur of the moment, you have to react. You cannot have the pauses when you are making the phone calls. So at that point of time, you have to act effectively. You have to listen effectively. I'm in a courtroom. Some arguments are going on. So I have to react at that moment. So I have to listen it effectively to give the response. So that's a very important factor. So, at certain stages, you have to respond at that spur of the moment. At that point of time, the listening effectively becomes very predominant. It becomes very significant. Now, while listening is important as I told, to justify the conversation, to give the responses. But beside is there are numbers of reasons. There may be the hundreds of reasons. But there's 4 or 5 reasons is that that why we are to help other persons, to of course to sympathize and to empathize, to adapt and to understand, and of course to help to learn something new. Okay, so these are the various factors on listening part as such. And of course listening becomes important because in the society what we are living in, if suppose you are not able to respond properly, if you are not able to justify your conversation, you will be the poor creature of the society as such. So a very important thing is that that as far as the conversation is concerned, speaking part is one of the linguists I know. I remember one of the linguists who has told that who had written that that for the effective communication, 70%, 75% is listening, and 20 to 20% is speaking, and 5% is gestures. So he laid the emphasis on speaking, that that this chunk of 70% goes on the listening part as such. So I think so that that as far as the listening part is concerned, your responses, your rejoinders, your answers, your relationship, your rapport, your conversations, your communications, your fatigue communion, everything depends upon the listening. And when there is a lacuna, or when there is a lack of, when there is a chasm in listening, when there is a gap in listening, what happens? That अर्थ का अनर्थ हो जाता है. There is what we find is that that the significance solution we are not able to get it out as such. So I hope, I am optimist that that as far as the listening part is concerned, after listening this lecture, the importance of listening, the emphasis on listening should be given, and specifically the youngsters, they are lacking in the listening skills as such. So as a teacher, as an elder, it is our priority that that we should be given them the training to listen, because as far as the present generation is concerned, when I've seen that even in my family also, they are impatient, they are intolerant, and when you become impatient and intolerant, there is a dearth of listening part as such. And this is the thing that that what we have to work on as such. Then coming to the listening part is that that how we can become effective listener. It is very important thing is that that effective listening does not come naturally to you. You have to work on that thing as such. No doubt the content of listening plays an important role as such. But beside is that there are numbers of factors what we have to do. We have seen that in lectures or in theaters and auditoriums, we have seen that always the people are always complaining, "Abhay, chup ho jao, we have to listen it out. We have to listen to this actor. We have to listen to this person as such." For the simple reason that that we are impatient, we want to talk, we are chatterbox, and this is the reason that that our listening is not effective. The few and foremost thing, 16 points are there. I'm not going to discuss all the point is that, but few of the factors I'm definitely going to discuss, and I have absorbed and I have imbibed that as far as the listening effective things are concerned, a little bit of thinking, little bit of meditation, and little bit of brooding is very much important thing as such. And the first and foremost thing, in the 16 point, it may not be written, but the first and foremost thing is that, for listening, the tolerance is a very important factor. Presently, as I told, because of lack of time and because of lack of mood and because of stress, we become intolerant. And this is the reason that, that we are just lacking of time as such. Now, coming to our point, that how we can make listening effective. First of all is that, we have to discipline ourselves. Whenever there is a public gathering, and when we are required that we should not talk, we should be silent. That is a very important part as such. Second part is that, that टॉलरेंट बी टॉलरेंट का मतलब होता है कि उसको व्यक्ति का क्या बोल रहा है उसको हमको सुनने का. वी शुड गिव सम टाइम, वी शुड गिव सम एफर्ट, वी शुड गिव सम स्पेस, वी शुड गिव सम रिस्पेक्ट टू द पर्सन. दैट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट. एंड वंस वी आर देयर, it is our duty to give him honor, to give him respect. This is the reason. Many a times I'm taking a lecture, I have to remind them that again and again you are speaking, I am feeling a little bit disjointed. I'm feeling little bit disturbed. So what happens is that, that I tell them only that you give me a respect, because for this topic I have prepared almost for 5 hours. For half an hour topic, so it is very important thing that, that we have to give them interest. And the significant point is that, the sixth point what I want to talk about is that taking notes. Now, taking notes, why I'm emphasizing on that? I'm emphasizing on that is because, we take it for granted that, that everything we listen, we will be able to remember. This thing does not happen. So, I've seen that, that I have attended numbers of national and international conferences. And I've seen that the best people are always taking the notes. And once you are out of the lecture or once you are out of the meeting, I can vouch for that, that 70% or 80% of the stuff you are going to forget it out as such. So what I mean is that, that taking an important points or important notes, and if the content is very dear to you, the content is very useful, utilitarian to you, then taking notes is a very, very important factor. That is a very important factor. And the next point I want to talk is that, that always when you want to listen effectively, you ask questions, because, when you are listening, there are a number of points, where you think that, that you want to get clarified. So that listening becomes effective when you ask a question or when you give the feedback. These are the two important things. Either asking a question or giving the feedback. These are the two important factors which are to be taken into consideration. And of course, listening creatively, it is also an art. There are 3 types of listening. One is the passive listening. Second is the active listening. Third is the filtering listening or creative listening. Creative listening means that whatever the things you have listened, you are going to churn up the important factor, and the factors, the information what you are not going to, which is not significant to you, you're going to get filter it out. But that comes with the practice. It is very easy for me to say. But when you talk about the creative listening means you listen certain thing, and the unwanted thing, just you have get rid of that thing at that moment of time. So, you will not be having all the information related to that as such. But that comes with the maturity, that comes with the age, and that comes with the experience. So, these are the 4 or 5 factors what I have to talk about, that how to listen effectively. Now, next point is that, that the successful people in life, the celebrities, the business tycoons, the business magnates, the successful business people, they are effective listeners. It is a very important thing. Responses comes afterwards, but the listening comes first. So there is a relationship because of listening as such. And if we work on it, we can definitely make it out as such. Now, coming to this is one of the part of our listening. Now we are coming to our specifics, which I will be going to take my lecture related to on it. Of course, half the lecture I have taken on the types of listening. But three of the listening which I will be definitely focusing on. And informational listening, critical listening, and therapeutic listening. Okay? As far as the appreciative listening, rapport listening, and selective listening is concerned, I will be talking on a surface level as such. But as far as my topic today, which I have been conferred, which I have been given, is related to informational listening, critical listening, and therapeutic listening. Coming to information, we know that listening to learn. In the classroom, we listen a lot. Okay, in IELTS, in TOEFL, in GRE, in other examinations also we find that the listening has been incorporated. Okay, and nowadays we find on lot of podcast on mobile phones, and with the coming of the technology, most of things we are listening, we are watching, and we are listening. So listening for information, listening to appear the examination, listening to rejoinder, give the rejoinder. This is the reason that that informational listening we used to go it out. Second listening is a critical listening. It is listening to evaluate and analyze. And as far as this critical listening is concerned, it goes with the doctors, it goes with the professionals, professionally specifically advocates, specifically chartered accountants, specifically the businessmen, because those critical listeners, when they listen to the client, they have to analyze that that what solution they have to give to the customer as such. Because what happens that that I have a case in the court, I go to the lawyer and I talk. Now he has to fight out the case, and he has to give his rejoinders, and he has to do his best in front of the court. So he will be giving the critical listening. And in that critical listening, what happened? He is going to ask me a lot of questions. And of course, he will be evaluating the information, and he will be analyzing the information, because he want to get the solution related to it. In all the listening, we used to get the solution, but in critical listening, it is a specific solution. It is a solution related to one. When you go to a doctor, suppose he does not listen you properly. Now, what type of medicine he is going to give you? We don't understand that thing. A chartered accountant, when you talk something related to your auditing, when there is a gap of conversation, what type of solution he is giving? So it can, as far as the critical listening is concerned, it can make or mar the world. It can spoil or it can take you to the top. So as far as that critical listening is concerned, then third is therapeutic listening. Now, as far as this listening is concerned, it is related to medical science. It is related to feeling. It is related to emotion. For example, that my child is stammering, or my neighbor is having some psychological problem. So the medicine is not going to help. But I sit for 1 hour, half an hour to him. I talk to him. I talk something about the case studies. I give him my experience. There is therapeutic listening. And the psychiatrists are the therapeutic listeners. Because therapeutic listening means that that you are dealing with some emotions, you are dealing with some feelings. And as far as that emotions and feelings are concerned, that if suppose you listen to them, and when you talk to them on that thing, you are treating the other person with the emotions and feeling, and probably the other person may be getting a solution related to it. We are going to talk on this thing in my next slides. But coming to next is appreciative listening for enjoyment. You go to the movies, you go to the theaters, you go to the auditoriums. It is more or less an appreciative listening. Rapport listening to create connection, listening to have the relationship. Selective listening means that as far as this listening is concerned, it is related to me, it is related to my thinking, it is related to my specific thing. That is a selective thinking as such. Now coming to my three listenings. First of all, as far as those three listenings are concerned, we have to go through the 5 stages. And as far as the stage is concerned, the receiving the information, understanding the information, remembering the information, evaluating the information, and feedback. This already we have talked in my last slide. So I will not be emphasizing on that. Now coming to my 3 listening patterns, listening parts, listening fields. Therapeutic listening. What does it do? How do I get started? Where can I find more information? Now we have seen that we have seen number of cases where the suicides are taking place. We have seen numbers of cases where the person is passing through some stress, some tribulations, through some tortures, through some traumas. So, the doctors are not helpful in that. The medicine is not helpful to them. In that environment, the person is, in Western countries, we have seen that, that numbers of suicide and numbers of cases, we have seen that, that numbers of depression, the people used to go in depression. So, as far as the therapeutic listening is concerned, it is the best medicine. And this medicine is, of course, giving a vent to the thinking of another person, and after listening to him, the best talking or the best conversation you can do to him, so that he can be get assuaged, or he can be mitigated, he can be get relaxed. And this is the reason that, that one of the concepts what we are not having much in India is as I told you, that psychiatric studies or psychiatrics. This is more you will be finding in the Western countries as such. So what happens that, that through this therapeutic listening, the other person specifically gets a little bit relaxed, and he is able to get less stressful. And many a times he is able to come out of the problem as such. And of course, the music, the old songs, okay, and of course, the satsangs, the sermons, okay, these are the form of therapeutic listening as such. And we have seen that the people's lifestyle have changed after listening to the therapeutic listening as such. So, as far as this therapeutic listening is concerned, it is a new concept. And as far as this new concept is concerned, it is very important that this concept, if it is worked on, the allopathic or the homeopathic or the Ayurvedic medicine, we can get rid of that thing as such. Because here, as I told before, that we have to absolutely deal with the emotion, stress, and the feelings. And specifically when it comes to therapeutic listening, two people are very important thing, to the child and the elder people. Okay, the child through therapeutic, you can make the gateway or you can give them the solution. And as far as the old people are concerned, if suppose you listen to them, then probably, there may be some changes in the behavior patterns as such. So I think so that, that as far as therapeutic listening is concerned, it is very important. Now, there are other synonyms or the other meanings of therapeutic listening. And as far as the meaning is to, as I told before, that, to mitigation or to make the person disease free, or to make the other person's conditions, mental conditions less stressful, or to make it more improving rather. Okay. So very important thing is that, it's a form of a cure. But as this cure is not very much conspicuous. It can be seen after a long time as such. And here, very important thing as far as the therapeutic listening is concerned, the very significant thing is that, that giving the time is a very important part. Giving your feelings, giving your thought, taking the thoughts, and of course sharing the feeling. These are a very, so no, you have to be very compassionate on that as such. And when you have that, then definitely you are going to have some good results on them. Then of course, as I told before that, that there are numbers of parallel words as far as I told that, as the therapeutic is concerned. This therapeutic is more or less, it's a medical term. But when we have the synonym, you have the healing part, you have the remedial part, you have the beneficial, or you have the corrective part. Now, all this thing basically comes is to make the person less stressful and come out of the neurosis disorder. Neurosis disorder means the mental disorder. And this mental disorder, after a certain period of time, the person might be passing through that difficult process. And you cannot get the result in day out, but if you give some time, as I told before, some specific solutions, you can get out of it as such. So I think so that, that the corrective, healing, remedial or beneficial part is the solution by assuaging the feeling of the other person as such. Now, the therapeutic listening, as I told that, that it is a medical term. And when you talk about this medical term, it is evidence-based auditory intervention intended to support individuals who experience challenges with the sensory processing, dysfunction, listening, attention, and communication. Now, this is a long explanation of the therapeutic listening. Now, to cut short, it is about that, we have got the evidence, the scientific results. And as far as the scientific results are concerned, the scientific result is that, the listening and the communication are the core factor. And of course, the the number one remedy of it is the music. The music, the songs plays a very significant role. And second thing is that, that positive communication, the communication with the tolerance, the communication with, by listening to some person, by giving the authentic or the purposeful solution. And if not giving the solution, then making the person neutralize. Many a time a person is negative, you can't make him positive. This is one of the things as such. So, when you make a therapeutic listening, probably what happened that the person may not be positive, but he may be the fence-sitter. He may come from negative to neutral, not positive. But he may or she may be coming from negative to neutralize. So, I think so that, that as far as this type of therapeutic listening is concerned, it will definitely give the solution to it as such. Now, when we come it is, then that of course, we see that, that what we have to do is, what the problem they are having. They are having the motor control. Motor control means they are having the physical problem. They may be having the very specific behaviors. Okay? They may be, their postures may be certain, they may be different as such. And their social skill may be different. Okay? So, what happens that you have to specifically see that, that what type of problems the person may be having. And when you think that if you can give the solution, then seeing the person's behavior, how you are going to give the rejoinder to that person, that you have to make it out. And if not, you think that it's a difficult proposition, then of course, the psychiatrist, you have to recommend to the psychiatrist. Many a time it happens that, I have gone to counsel certain people, but I did not get the desired results. So I knew that, that as far as the things are concerned, it is not in my hand. And I took him to the psychiatrist by making him my friend, by faking him that, that he is my friend. And, my friend listened, that psychiatrist listened to him, and, he gave the proper solution related to that. But, that person did not know that, that I have taken him to the psychiatrist. So, many a times, what happened that, that you have to give this type of solution by, of course, by giving him the proper. Now, of course, as I told before that, that as far as the music and song and all sort of things, these are social skills, this is a very important factor. And we have seen that, that as far as the social skills, even the WhatsApp and Facebook and Instagram, no doubt not 100%, but when you are communicating with it, at least, at that point of time, you are a little bit stressful. So I think so that, that in a way, even the social networking is therapeutic, and listening in a way that, we do the video chats and audio chats, and these are the things that, that what we are relaying. Now, coming to the informational listening. As far as the information, as I told you that, gathering the information, and as far as that gathering the information is related, it is related to key ideas, asking question, taking notes, and of course, information more or less, it is related to the students, major students, because students has to give the examinations. They have to give the examination. When they listen, they will be giving their examination in a proper manner. And presently, as I told you that, the listening part has been imbibed in the competitive examination. In IELTS, TOEFL, and all sort of examination, the listening part is there. And of course, in business, and of course, in many parts, we have to provide them the information so that we get the critical information related to it. Now, where this information listening takes place, it occurs with a group assigned. It occurs with the generation, with the culture, with the industry groups. And as far as the information listening is concerned, wherever you find that, that you are going to get some information related to your upliftment, related to your cultural hiring or cultural upliftment, then of course we have to go for the information listening. Means that you have to get the information listening for your own betterment in your field. The people who used to get on the top of the ladder, they used to get those type of people where they get the proper listening part as such. Okay, and last part is the critical listening. As far as the critical listening is concerned, we talked about it, but I'll go little bit detail, that it has to be, as far as the information is concerned, the message is concerned, we have to, of course, come to the truth, come to the logic, and we have to value that thing as such. Critical listening has some reason, and it has the responsibility, because after getting the informational listening, the part of critical listening comes place. Critical listening means that after listening to some doctors or engineers or some the psychiatrist listen, the advocate listen, he has to give some result. So of course critical listening is with the purpose to give some solution. And from the student's point of view, the politicians are talking a lot about it, the media is talking a lot about it, but the student has to filter that listening part. Otherwise, the students or the people at large, they can become prejudiced. So when you don't have the critical listening, we can become prejudiced to it as such. And it is very important thing that that when you are making a critical listening, we have to understand the person and the contextualization, and of course the person, what the person is saying in the true sense. These are to be taken into consideration. Otherwise, we will not be going to give the solution related to critical context. So a very important thing here, coming to my last 2 minutes evaluation of what the lecture I have taken. It is very important thing that that at present scenario, listening has been overlooked, it has been ignored. And listening, we are just taking in one sense ke suna, that is only one part of it. But there are many connotations and there are many contexts of listening as such. And when we take that listening part very seriously, we will definitely make our life better. We can make our career better, and we can have a better relationship, because more or less listening is related to consolidate the relationship, to make the relationship better, to understand the society, to respond better in the society, and to get the success in life. These are the ways and means, these are the purposes of listening. And when we of course understand the purposes of listening, then definitely we can give our communication or give our rejoinder or give our responses better in this society as such. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.